Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Join us Friday, April 24th through Sunday, April 26th for our first homestand of the season and our 5th anniversary celebration. Score big with $5 tickets. Grab $5 domestic draft beers. Enjoy $5 popcorn. And yes, 2 Nathan's hot dogs for just $5. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
One of my favorite cities in the world, though, is Jerusalem. And looking forward to going back third week of June for my 4th trip since the war started. Chance to speak for the 2nd straight year at the JNS International Policy Summit. So joining me right now, as he has many, many times, is the CEO of JNS.org, my dear friend Alex Traiman, live in Jerusalem. I believe right now it's a little after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that right, Alex?
That's right. Good morning, Sid.
Good afternoon to you. Happy lunchtime. Get what's his name, Ronnie, to go down to that falafel joint not far from the offices in Jerusalem and get some falafel. How about that?
Well, that sounds good. Well, today's Memorial Day, so not all the restaurants are open.
No, I know. Look, I was saying earlier, I was there last year for these 2 days, spent them with you, Yom HaZikaron, which is your Memorial Day. And as I explained to the audience a little while ago, you guys just flip the switch and you go from Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron, to Independence Day, Yom HaTzmaot. But you may remember last year, it got kind of screwed up, because we were leaving Mount Herzl, where you have that huge ceremony. The prime minister is there, many other big Israelis, all the grave sites of all the Jewish people who died. And then we got word that a lot of the celebrations that night to start Independence Day were canceled because it was very dry and you had forest fires, I guess you want to call it. And then the Arabs got hold of that news, and they added to it. So between Mother Nature and the Arabs, you may remember that last year at this time, a lot of the Independence Day events in Jerusalem, including the great Rabbi Shlomo Katz, they were all canceled.
Yeah, that's right. It's been difficult to celebrate Independence Day the way we would like to because of this war that started on October 7th. And even tomorrow, usually have the Air Force flyovers, and that's not going to happen tomorrow, although we might see the Air Force flying over other countries like Iran instead.
Wow, that is interesting. You're right. We may see that instead. I think I saw the figure since October of 2023 when Iran and Hamas and all these evil people started this war. I think I saw 26,000 IDF soldiers have been killed. Is that the right number?
No, that's not the right number. I think it's this is a fraction of that.
No kidding.
A fraction of the number. Yeah, in the last year, it was reported that 170 soldiers were killed. I think
170,000 or 170?
No, 170 soldiers in the last year, and I think since October 7th, it's probably less than 2,000.
Really? I was just reading your site, jns.org, where Bibi was speaking last night at a pre-Memorial Day ceremony and talking about how, yes, even though today is a day of solemn remembrance in Israel for all those courageous fighters that gave up their lives for us, it's also a day of togetherness where Israelis come together and realize that world peace and Middle East peace is at stake here, and whether it's President Trump in the United States or Bibi Netanyahu in your country, that seems to be the direction that we are heading. But I could have sworn I saw a figure of 26,000.
No, I actually was just looking as you were talking, and it's actually under 1,000 soldiers killed since October 7th.
So what did that number there that popped up, 25,000, 989. Do you
it's
see
a
that?
longer number. It's probably since the founding of the state in 1948.
Oh, okay. There it is. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, because I didn't think you guys had that many casualties in this war.
But I want to tell you, and if you compare it to like the war in Russia-Ukraine, where it's been reported that Russia may have lost a million soldiers, rather, in the 4 years since the war started. These 1,000 soldiers, it means the world to the whole country. I mean, every single one is so painful. And Israel is one of the most resilient countries in the entire world. And we've been ducking in and out of bomb shelters throughout this conflict, and particularly in the last 6 weeks, last 7 weeks or so, during the war with Iran. And Israelis are able to tolerate that. They'll go into the bomb shelter and they'll go out and they'll try to live their lives in between. But anytime a soldier is lost, it just sends like a dagger through the hearts of so many Israelis here. To lose our best and our brightest and our bravest, and even one of them to us is like losing the entire world.
I remember standing Mount Herzl last year on this day with my beautiful wife, Danielle, my son, Gabriel. And the thing that really struck us, Alex, was all these grave sites. You would see 10 soldiers, 8 soldiers, 12 soldiers crying, wearing their green IDF uniforms and standing over the grave sites. It may have been a friend. It may have been a fellow battler. It may have been a relative. But the overwhelming majority of soldiers that we saw, and we talked about this for days, were young and beautiful. I mean, beautiful girls and handsome guys. And I know that soldiers are young, right? We don't send 6-year-olds into battle, but it was just remarkable how beautiful these people were. And there they were, mourning the deaths of folks the same age.
Right. You have in this country, basically, it's a national conscription. Most everybody gets called up at the age of approximately 18. So you have all these 18 to 21, 22-year-olds, and then some afterwards going back to reserve duty. But, people, little kids, basically, just in their prime athletic builds, and I must say, I think Israelis and Jews are beautiful people.
They are.
A really, really good-looking nation, and like you said, you got these beautiful girls enlisting in the military, handsome guys, going to war. And when you look at the soldiers, and you look at how good-looking they actually are, and then when you look at how they commemorate and care about each life lost or each injured brother, that's why you realize what it is that we're fighting for, and that's we Israelis, they celebrate life and then they cry over death, and if you look at our enemies, they're actually trying as a strategy to get as many of their own people killed because that's how they think that they actually delegitimize and demonize Israel. So, Israel's trying to get as least number of people killed on our side as well as even in our enemy's side, moving civilians out of harm's way. And our enemies are basically just trying to kill as many civilian soldiers as possible on all sides of the conflict.
Doesn't matter. They still call us genocidal, these idiots all over the world. I did make it my business at Mount Herzl last year with Danielle and Gabe to visit the grave of Bibi Netanyahu's brother. And for folks that don't know about that, Bibi's brother was killed in a conflict. I think Bibi was injured at some point, too. Is that right?
Right. Yoni Netanyahu's older brother, who many believe that he was the one being groomed for a major leadership position. He was the only Israeli soldier killed in the incredible rescue of hostages at the airport in Entebbe, and it was actually on American Independence Day. It was on July 4th. They led a daring rescue. Yonatan Netanyahu was the commander of that, and he was the only Israeli soldier killed, and they brought over 100 hostages back home. Benjamin Netanyahu was injured. I think it was I don't remember what year it was exactly, maybe 1972, but he was injured also in a hostage rescue on an airplane, and he was shot in the shoulder. So this is a man that's fought for Israel, that is made it his life's mission to try to bring hostages back. Lost a brother in combat. I know that was very, very painful for the family. So he really understands the pain that Israelis are going through, when family members are lost in conflict.
That was the Idi Amin conflict, right? That his brother was killed in, Yoni?
Correct.
Yeah.